India, the world's largest democracy, is always bustling with election, whether it's for the Lok Sabha or various state assemblies. Elections are happening almost all the time. But what if we could change that? What if India held all its elections, national and state, on the same day every 5 years? That's what the concept of One India, One Election is all about. Today, we are diving deep into what this means for our country and whether it's the right move for our democracy. Is India ready for this change? Let's find out. Welcome back to our channel. Good to go, Chief. So, what exactly is One India, One Election? It's a proposal to synchronize the election for the both Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly. Instead of elections happening every few months or every year in a different states, the idea is to hold all the elections for both the national and state governments on the same day every 5 years. But this is instead a new concept. Back in the day, from 1951 to 1967, India actually held simultaneous elections. The first few elections were conducted this way, but political instability and state government dissolution caused the election cycles to diverge. So the central idea here is to go back to that system where elections for the central government and all the state government happens at the same time. But why are we even talking about this now? There are a few reasons why One India, One Election is being seriously considered today. Let's start with cost. Elections are expensive. In the 2019 general election, India spent around rupees 60,000 crore. Add to that the cost of conducting state election that happen almost every year, and the number keeps going up. Frequent elections are also disrupt governance. Every time elections are announced, the model code of conduct comes into effect. This means government couldn't announce new policies or launch new projects until the elections are over. This brings governance to the standstill, and when the elections are happening frequently, it's hard for the government to focus on long-term policies. Another reason is the constant campaign mode. Politicians are constantly busy preparing for the election, so instead of focusing on governance, they are focused on staying in power. Wouldn't it be more effective if elections happen once every 5 years and they could focus on governance the rest of the time? Proponents of One India, One Election often highlighted three main benefits. Cost savings. If we hold all the elections at once, the cost of managing elections, from polling booths to security to logistics, would drastically come down. Instead of organizing multiple elections every year, the entire process could be streamlined. Uninterrupted governance. With a synchronized election, the model code of conduct would only come into effect once every 5 years. This means government can work without constant disruption and focus on implementing their policies. Voter turnout. Some believe that holding elections for the both national and state government on the same day could increase voter turnout. Since people would vote for both levels of government at once, they might be more engaged in the process. But while the benefits sound great, it's not all the simple. Let's talk about the challenges. Like with any big idea, One India, One Election come with its share of challenges. Here are the few major concerns. Logistical nightmare. India is a massive country with over a billion people spread across diverse geographics. Conducting election on the same day for the Lok Sabha and all the state assemblies would be huge logistical challenge. Coordinating the security forces, managing polling stations, and ensuring fair election at such a large scale could overwhelm the system. Impact on federalism. India is a federal system, which means states have a certain level of autonomy. Critics argue that holding simultaneous election might weaken this autonomy. Local issues might get overshadowed by national campaigns, and smaller regional parties could find it harder to compete against the bigger national parties. Midterm elections. What if a state government collapses before its 5 year term ends, or if a central government faces a non-confidence vote? Would we need to hold fresh elections again, even before the scheduled date? If so, wouldn't that defeat the whole purpose of synchronization? And finally, many argue that focusing both the national and state election on the same day might take attention away from the regional issues. National parties could dominate the conservations and leaving the state-specific concern in the backgrounds. Unsurprisingly, the idea of One India, One Election has received mixed reaction from the political leaders. The BJP, which is currently pursuing of this, argues that it will save money, reduce governance disruption, and bring more stability. On the other end, many regional parties are skeptical. They believe that simultaneous election could marginalize regional issues and make it harder for them to compete with the larger national parties. Legal experts also point out that making this shift would require significant constitutional amendments, making it is a complex legal and political challenge. So, is India ready for one India, one election? While it could bring significant benefits like cost savings and uninterrupted governance, the challenge it poses from logistical hurdles to concerns about the regional representation are equally significant. In a diverse country like India, where local issues are often very different from national ones. In a diverse country like India, where local issues are often very different from national ones, implementing such a massive change will require careful thought, planning, and debate. What do you think? Should India move towards synchronized election, or are the risks too high? I have loved to hear your thoughts on this. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think about One India, One Election. Do you think it's a good idea? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content on Indian politics and current affairs. Thanks for watching.